welcome to Mature Adult Time. I'm Art Hernandez.
I am Serafina Costanza.
Eric Kaczmarowski.
Mel C.
And we're here to talk about mature adult stuff and things. Yeah, go ahead, play your Snapchat.
You Snapchatting on this right
She's
now?
addicted to Snapchat, dog.
I got rid of Snapchat. Well, I have it, but I'm hardly on it anymore.
Well, I mean, I really like Snapchat because I don't have a Facebook. I don't use Facebook. I don't really give a fuck what's on people's minds. They're annoying.
But
But I like to see the cool stuff that they eat
Oh.
and places that they go that I might want to go. Bitches with babies, DIY moms. Like I just, this is, the quick 10-second something.
Yeah, it's good.
That's all I want to see. It's cool. I do have an Instagram. I don't post that often, but I do.
That's dope. I do too, and it's at Art of Hernandez. You guys all check it out. It's really good. Tons of dick pics. Basic dick pics.
But basic dick pics.
Huge,
Is there a premium version?
I hear there's huge
Yeah.
dick holes in the dick
On
pics.
mine, yeah.
Here, there's a letter right there.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. How's you guys' week been?
Good. I got acupuncture for the first time yesterday.
I fingered my belly button a lot this week. You guys made me feel bad. Like I feel like I was neglecting it.
Oh,
So
you
I
started
spent a lot of time like going knuckle deep, just kind of playing around, seeing what was there.
knuckle deep.
First or second?
I've only made it the first.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
brave enough to
That
go
barely
cheap.
counts.
Yeah.
That's this knuckle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least you got there,
That's barely. I mean, that's impressive because the whole fingernail's in there, which has got to feel good. Wet the hard side and just rim the edges.
Ooh, I didn't think about wetting it. Damn, I was going in dry.
Speaking of fingernail,
No, you want to use alcohol.
I got a fingernail.
It dries,
But
keep it
someone
wet,
attacked me.
moldy, you're hairy,
I'll be using alcohol as lube. To get them
Okay.
drunk.
Everyone's all quiet.
I'm just it got super weird there. I'm joking. I meant as a social lubricant to, help the conversations go along. Okay, so really quick. So you were saying you got acupuncture?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Acupuncture, and then I got cupping, and I'm going to change my shirt, but I didn't show Melania earlier because I wanted to show you guys what my back looks like.
All right.
Are you ready?
Do it that way so it's on camera still, but yeah, I'll hold your
hold
mic
that.
for you. To mic in.
Okay.
You ready?
All right, there you go.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Damn.
I mean, the cupping is
This
one thing.
one?
The bruises are gnarly, but I'm looking more at the hips don't lie thing. But
Yeah, that's a
This one is the worst one.
I see that.
That one?
Okay, so what is cupping?
that's like
So, it's supposed to, move your blood around and...
looks like it trapped it all.
It looks like you got a bunch of
and get the old blood up or something something with old
Why do you want to
blood.
get the old blood
It looked
up?
like
I don't know.
It looked like I pulled out my big ass dick hole too early, and it just started sucking up.
Oh, God.
You want to get the blood flowing, but that doesn't look like anything's flowing anywhere. It just kind
Well,
of
it's a cup, and they get all the oxygen out with heat, and then your skin kind of gets sucked in there, and then she moves the cups around. So it feels really good up top, and it's kind of I feel like kind of breaking everything up almost. I don't know. I never, because I've seen how it looked before, I never was interested in getting it. I just didn't think. But it was there, and I was like, I might as well try it once
So-
and just see what it's like.
So why did you decide to get acupuncture and cupping done this week at the same time?
Well, I work with someone who does acupuncture. She has her own business, and I've always wanted to try it. And I have really bad feet and sciatica on both sides since I was 17, and I have TMJ now. So when I was telling her all this,
Is it like TMZ, but not as cool?
yeah,
TMZ for Jews.
it's the underground TMZ. So it's like when you grind your teeth or clench your jaw. So I clench my jaw at night, so I have to wear a mouth guard.
I do
Oh.
that. I got TMJ too.
Yeah, so I do that shit, I would be driving sometimes and just notice that I'm clenching, because I cracked a tooth. That's how
I've done
that's
that.
how they're doing. They're like, you gotta fucking put the shit in your mouth or you're gonna crack all your teeth.
I do that awesome because I swallow so much rage. It's
Anyway, so I'm gonna go again next Friday. I'm not gonna do the cupping, but I'm gonna do the acupuncture, because she said all my shit is on the same kind of channel.
yeah.
Do they reuse the needles, autoclave them, or are they all brand new ones every time?
That's a good question.
I'd
I
check
didn't
it.
even know.
I definitely want to look into that.
How does your back feel right now? Right now, the way you're sitting down,
It doesn't feel like anything.
does it feel good? Any better? Any worse? Any different? More relaxed?
It actually does
loose?
feel more relaxed and loose. In certain spots, it'll feel sore, But it does feel like a little looser. Like I don't feel like the tension right here is so much like it was before.
It looks like it's painful.
Yeah, like that doesn't look like if someone.
Well,
like,
if someone would go punch me in the back right now, it would hurt more than it normally would. Especially like this one right here is like a little extra.
I mean, again, I've been all bruised up. I didn't even know I could get bruises from the water until Havasu not too long ago.
Oh yeah.
So.
Were you on a boat though? Going
no,
fast?
well, I got my whole butt was purple.
There you go.
Because I
Like freaky sex. Go on.
I wish.
No, just-
No, I had a big bruise on my butt from off-roading, like a couple days prior to going to Havasu. But then we attached a tube to the back of the jet ski, and so
Oh, yeah, that'll
homie
fuck
was
you up.
driving and he was trying to get me to fall off, and I was like, "What's the tricks on that ass?" But the hitting, and
Yeah.
I felt it.
'Cause water
I felt
gets hard.
it. I mean, but it felt like a spanking. I mean, who doesn't like a good spanking every once in a while? So.
Its molecules compress in there and become super hard.
But I got really bruised up, and
Yeah.
then I had all these other bruises and everything. But I mean, I didn't really feel it when it happened. It just left a lot of proof. So maybe.
I mean, Serafina looks like she lost a fight to a mean octopus. Like it just.
It does look fucked up.
Or like that
A
cat
kraken,
song.
dog.
When I
Over there,
first-
Don't fuck with the
it's
kraken.
here.
When it first was happening, it was just red, and like you can see the circles, almost like a hickey. But then it started bruising up like
It's exactly
within
like a
the
hickey.
hour.
It is
Hickeys
a
are
hickey.
supposed to bruise. That's a
Yeah.
bunch of hickeys.
So when
It's like
did,
what
when
those
did you
people were
get it
doing
done?
with the cups.
Horny
The
octopus.
Yesterday.
It was just yesterday.
Yesterday at like 11, at
Damn.
11:30.
You got to make that shit go away. What I would do back in the day, I would get my mom's lipstick or something, and if
Put
a
it
girl
in the
left
freezer?
it, no, a girl left, I just push it into there and like start twisting it, and it like I think it moves all the blood that's
Oh, like
trapped
to
there,
the
and it
hickey?
pushes it away to get the hickeys
Oh
away.
yeah.
My sisters used to do that, yeah, and because
Yeah, but
my mom
I
would
thought
hate
you were
it.
supposed to put it in the
Frozen
freezer.
spoon.
No, my mom did. Oh yeah, my sister did that. The frozen spoon.
Frozen
too.
But the
She's like-
chapstick was quicker, but it hurt a little.
yeah, because that's the same thing. It's like a little
I never
little
got
flat thing.
like
Just-
too many hickeys.
Dude, I found out at a really, like in like, I think like 10th grade that I get hickeys really easily because like, I know I'm really dark up here, but inside here is not, and it just like I can get really easy hickeys. And one time this girl left like a trail all the way across my fucking shit, and my mom was pissed, dude. She was so mad. She's like, she thought I was a hoe.
Yeah.
But really,
I haven't even thought of the word hickey in a long ass time.
yeah.
Does that make me old? Because I'm like, I
No,
forgot
I
about
My
it.
mom
I
always
think
told me
it's-
from when I was young, hickeys are tacky, and she was like,
Me
from
too.
where I'm from and from back in my day, a hickey meant they had you last night. And I
Yeah,
was like,
exactly.
That's the beginning of it.
Like
I
you've been
haven't
had.
done that yet. And she was
I guess
like,
that is kind of a way, like a
yeah,
branding.
like property, like a brand.
yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's what.
Hey, turn that
that's
shit
what
on
I heard
silent,
too.
huh, dog?
But
We're recording here.
my mom said that too, and then my reaction was like, okay, so just all
my
below
boss.
Well,
the.
call. You can talk to him if you want. You can go.
I mean, this would be hilarious.
Well, you can go.
Yeah.
Don't put him on blast though. Just step off frame and we'll
Speakerphone that full.
just step off frame and we'll handle this without you for a wee bit. You know, you got to talk to your boss.
Excuse me. Hello.
That's how business goes, man.
But yeah, so my mom told me the same shit. It's like that just means people know your business when it's on your neck, and I was like, all right, so keep it below my neck.
Yeah, I think it's right though.
Like
Like
tattoos.
it is kind of tacky though. Like you
It's
just.
just super tacky. They don't look good.
I think it's a way of like a girl marking you like. Well, and
Or a guy marking you.
absolutely, but I haven't been that lucky yet.
Someday I hope that you get there.
Guys don't suck on me hard enough.
But like I haven't even been in this situation where a hickey might like be coming up. You know what I mean? Like
Well, I think when you're younger, like when you're in middle school and high school and shit like that, like that's what hickeys are cool.
Yeah.
Is because it's like, yeah, I'm getting some. Like then it's a badge.
it's like proof.
Yeah.
You know, once you hit 21, like once you hit 18 or maybe 21, it's just like, oh, you got a hickey last night? Like you couldn't even fucking have your shit together to like fucking make sure you can't even present
No,
yourself
like,
to the
who
world.
Well, because in middle
I feel
school
like
and
you'd have to do it even in high school. Oh, sorry to interrupt you, but middle school, like I'd have to, if I wanted to give my boyfriend a hickey, I'd have to work at it for like 3 minutes, like trying to do it. Otherwise, that fool ain't getting a hickey. You know what I mean? Like,
damn, don't date black people.
well, you just have black.
You
No,
just
but-
gotta suck good. What do you mean?
But yeah, you do. You gotta suck. But that's the thing. Like hickeys happen, I think, at an earlier age because you're unable to say stop. Don't do that. But you know, now if I catch someone trying to do that, I'm like, you can't mark me.
Well, yeah, we're grown.
Switch it up. Start moving them
But
around.
even if we are grown, but like if someone just started, like if my husband started sucking on my neck, like hickey style, I'd be like, Even if it wouldn't make a mark, I'd be like, why are you doing? Like
Yeah, why are
that's
you
not
sucking
even
on my neck?
anything right now. There's plenty other places I could think about where you could do something.
I could factor in drunken passions for sure, because drunken passion's a thing. But yeah, if you're just like, you know, if you're just chilling. You know, she's married. Yeah, if she's just chilling and like comes home and starts. I imagine anyone does that. It's just gonna be like, what the fuck are you doing? Unless it works, you know, they hit that right spot.
I mean, I would disagree if you were married and that was your wife that you wouldn't.
Dude, if she said no, I'd beat her and then have my way anyways.
Whatever.
The law's behind me on that
So
one.
I'm saying, like, come on.
Joking.
You're married already. Suck on what you want.
Yeah, that's true.
Please.
That's true, because like everyone's gonna know it's like that's where that's your husband marks.
I mean, that's so stupid because we're grown. But again.
Yeah, I still don't like it.
If he comes in one day in a mood, you're like, okay, weirdo.
I don't know.
I do that every day when he comes home. I'm like, because he comes home in a mood every day. I'm like, oh.
Is it a good one? I mean, moods are very common for humans to have. So I mean, do you mean it's like a good one right now? Bad, yeah, mood right now.
I know he gets hangry a lot. He's definitely like those commercials.
Oh yeah.
Where he needs the Snickers.
Oh, I'm
They just keep Snickers around.
That'd be funny if you kept Snickers around and go, here, you're a diva when you're hungry.
I just want maybe just an empty one. I don't need to be keeping chocolate around.
Oh no, it'll melt and shit. Yeah, fuck that.
Just
We're in the heat.
Just like the outside, like I'll get a Snickers, eat it, and then just have the outside wrapper, and then just show it to him and be like, look, dude, handle it yourself. Like it's just a reminder. It's like a yellow card.
Well, that's even worse.
Like a yellow
I thought
card.
you walked out something to give me. You gave me a wrapper.
You should take the
Yeah, like
wrapper.
go handle your shit.
Take
Well,
the
the
wrapper.
nerve of him, handle. If you're hungry, eat something and stop being a dick. You know what I mean? Like we're all adults. Figure your shit out.
100%. But what if you take the wrapper and put a tampon in it?
No.
No, that's
Why?
just mean.
You just.
You
just take it
it's
there
funny
for
to my
what?
friends to give my friends tampons, but I guess you guys.
Oh, that's an inside joke.
Silly.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Is the tampon still in its wrapper?
It's a good cure for moods.
Tampons cure all moods?
No, it's a Band-Aid. Without adhesive.
You know, my mom is a nurse, and she says if you go camping and shit, and you should always have pads in your first aid kit because that's what's gonna stop the bleeding.
Yeah, isn't pads gauze?
But like good shit.
Better.
Yeah.
It's better than
To
gauze.
8 hours.
8 hours? God damn. 8 hours.
Up to 8 hours.
Box. I mean, that's gross.
Is that wearability or how much it can
hours.
absorb?
That's
No,
what
but
that's what they claim. But
like,
you still,
get
it's
this.
like paper towels, Downy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna do it.
Dude, I would
Charmin Ultra, they're all lies.
My
But
equivalent to
that's
wearing
what it
pads
says.
or
Gauze
tampon.
pads are better, and they have the adhesive sticky part. You know
That's
what I
what
mean?
I'm, yeah.
So there's.
You get the overnight shit that's supposed to go to belly button to fucking ass crack, and then you cut your arm, you just wrap it around there, it sticks to itself, and you're good.
That is gross. I mean, that makes sense. It's a Band-Aid. I don't know. I just think of. Okay.
That was your face. And I know you. If you made that face, I don't even.
I know. That's what I'm thinking. Like, what's he scared of vaginas
No, I'm
for?
intrigued. I'm intrigued.
I'm intrigued, but Art made that face. Nothing makes Art make
My
that face.
comparison, because I don't wear tampons or pads.
I've never seen that face before.
Well, because I don't wear tampons or pads, but I think about the equivalents of them, where I, had like dentist gauze or cotton up my nose for a nosebleed. And I could never imagine leaving it there for 8 hours, even a Band-Aid.
No, not at all.
No
Not
one
at
leaves
all.
it there for 8 hours.
That's what we just said.
That's what I'm saying. Why would they say that? Are you sure no one does
gross.
it?
Diapers are up to 8 hours. The same thing, and they have Milo's have a little yellow line in the middle of it, and when it turns blue, that means she's peed. And if I've seen her pee once, I'll change the diaper, and people say that that's wasteful.
What?
Yeah.
You're supposed to let him sit in there
Like pee for like.
I think sitting in
twice,
pee is
3
not as
times.
bad
Well,
as sitting
here's
in
the
shit.
thing when it says, though,
I would agree with that,
kids
yes.
and diapers and stuff is
Diaper rash, especially she's got a cool phone.
the absorbent ones aren't good because when they do pee, they can't feel it. So when it comes time to like training them to be on the potty, it's like when they pee themselves, they don't give a shit because they can't feel it. And so like the wet ones are kind of better, and then you like try to.
I was just told by Milo's doctor that her pediatrician told me that it's not up to me. I'm not training her. It's in her mind. It's when she's ready. And the other day, she doesn't like the shower, so I bathed her, and she was all, I don't want to be in here. So I was
Is this like a sink bathing?
No,
Oh, you do
the shower
bathtub?
together.
Oh, okay.
So she didn't want to be in there, but I wasn't ready. So I wrapped her in her towel, and I told her to chill it, outside the shower while I finished.
Sit there and chill.
And so she was walking around talking, and then I finished my shower, and when I came out of my towel, she was sitting on her potty, and she's never sat on her potty. She's never liked it. She's cried every time I've tried to sit on her. Well, 2 days after her birthday, she told me she had to go potty. I put like the top piece on the big toilet, and she went potty. I was like, okay, cool, bravo. But yeah, I got out of the shower and she was sitting there and she was chilling. I was like, are you going potty? And she was like, yeah, I'm going potty. And she got up and she went potty. And I was like, this is so cool. And then the same day, which was yesterday, she told me I want to sleep on my bed, and she slept on her bed.
So these are all, that's good.
Like on her own. Yeah. So like the doctor told me, like it's not, people say they train their kids. It's whenever they.
I was born.
Well, I know this one comedian guy
trained,
who's like training his kid to go on the toilet from birth.
Yeah, I was the same way. I would just go to the bathroom. Like I went to the toilet right away.
He like fucking like, I guess they stare at the kid all day. No one has to go to the bathroom and hold him. Schedule. Yeah, and hold him over the fucking toilet at an early age. I didn't like. I wasn't interested enough to delve into it more, but like I heard about that.
Yeah, but
what they're saying about the diapers though is they're gonna want to do it if they feel wet. You know what I mean? They're gonna be like, oh, this I noticed this now.
I mean, a little bit of shame will help them feel it too, though.
Dude, my friend's
look what you did.
So he needed to take a shit in the toilet like months before he did, because we're like, dude, we know what you're doing. He'd go in the corner and like shit in the one corner of his room. We're like, we'd see you, and he'd like try to hide, and we're like, just go. This shit smells so bad. It's not even right. It's not right. That is not going straight in the toilet.
I remember my little cousin Paul, who's like 22 now. So when I was probably like 11 when he was like a baby or whatever, and I remember he'd do the same thing. He'd go around like the edge of around a couch or something, just right a little bit out of sight, and he'd just kind of just squat down and just look around, and he was not saying anything or playing with shit, just like, oh, that kid's clearly shitting over there.
My little brother Finn, he used to do that shit. Like he used to run around the house and shit in corners after that's what he did. It'd be a normal fucking thing.
I think his shitting is where you're pretty vulnerable, so you find like a corner or like something.
You want to be alone.
Yeah,
Let me do my thing.
Although there was one time like in middle school, I'd go to like summer camps, and we'd go from the lunch hall and we'd run and go and like compare shits, like who could take the biggest shit. That was like one time I didn't really want to shit alone.
Yeah, I've never really tried to measure out shit with someone.
Yeah,
my friends used to send photos of their shit.
You gotta think about a baby. Think about a baby's point of view. I'm a baby, and I was just born, and I'm so fucking cute, and I'm doing all this cute shit, and I'm learning all this cute shit.
Babies don't even know what
just want to stare at me all day, every day, and like ask me to do things and say hi and bye and mama, and it's like, no, I'm gonna go fucking use the restroom. It's the one thing that I want to do in my. You gotta think about it in a baby's point of view. They're watching you.
That's a bougie baby.
Well, Miley seems
that's every baby.
Miley seems like she's super independent and like, I'm gonna do shit on my own.
Well, she goes and poops, and then she comes back and she's like, yeah,
handle this.
I went to the bathroom, and I'm like, okay. So then like my evil parenting in my head, like what I thought about doing, I didn't do it. I swear I didn't do it, but I thought about it. Like,
don't say it if it's illegal.
I'm gonna just let her sit in her poop for like 15 minutes, and she's gonna get a diaper rash, and I'm gonna be like, look, see, if you went in the toilet, that wouldn't happen.
Is that why I get all those rashes?
I mean, no,
you gotta stop one, shitting yourself, and two, change your pants when you do it, okay?
She's super sensitive, but I'm like, yeah, like, how else would you change? But once the doctor told me, like, it's not up to you, it's up to her, she knows. She already knows she's gonna poop, like, when she's ready, she'll do it. But he was like, oh, it could be he's like, the youngest, you should start potty training, quote unquote, is at 2. She just turned 2. And I have been trying since, a couple of months ago.
The youngest is at 2?
Mm-hmm. So he was like,
well, because they don't want to fall in.
And I was like, if you think I'm gonna be changing 4-year-old shits, you got the game twisted. These 2-year-old shits.
Have you seen those kids?
I know.
They're like 7 years old, and they're like, Mom, come wipe my ass. I'm like, I'll beat that kid until he wipes his own ass. Yeah.
He's like, maybe 4 to 6 months, and she's driving home, and she's like, she smelled like he pooped, and she's like, I'm 3 blocks from home. She's like, I'm not gonna pull over, just gonna make it home.
He exploded.
And he not only fucking did a blowout, but he had shorts on. This fool took his shit and was rubbing it all over him, all over the car seat, all over the car. She's like, ouch. When she got home and she looked in her rearview mirror, she was like, oh, yeah, no. And I saw her post on Facebook, and then I happened to see her like a couple weeks later, and just her telling it, she was so devastated. She was like, that was the worst thing ever. She was like, she had to like clean do a pre-clean before she could even clean because it was that much shit
Milo's blown up.
fucking everywhere because he
Milo
had it in his hands and his mouth like he was like being
They
real
could
gross.
get sick. Milo did this while I
She's
was
gonna be
cooking
cute.
shrimp. I was cooking her ass fucking shrimp. And she was talking to me and she told me that she had to use the bathroom. And I'm like, yeah, you're full of it. I've been trying to potty train you. All of a sudden now I'm cooking shrimp and you want to go to the bathroom. This is
Seems like
shrimp.
you're going against all your teachings.
You don't know. Because this was like, she would never do
shrimp
it.
girl.
Like that.
You got shrimp.
Girl,
right
like,
there.
This was
That's the lesson.
way early. This was
It's just
months and
shrimp.
months and months ago. Like when I started to try to put her on the potty and she had a fit. This was early. And all of a sudden that day, I'm like, nope. I'm cooking shrimp and 2 minutes on one side. I flip them and I look at her and she's just got poop everywhere. I'm looking at the shrimp and I'm screaming at my mom and it was just everywhere. Had to bathe her, had to save the shrimp all at once. It's a disaster. It's like a cat.
But you saved the shrimp. You didn't overcook it.
Oh no,
It's
it was
still good?
delicious.
Yeah.
I bathed her and I made her sit in a diaper while she ate her shrimp and she grubbed. She enjoyed it, but
Yeah.
Well, yeah, who's not gonna love shrimp, but still.
I mean, my friend told me
Do
that
you
her
reward
daughter-
someone for shitting everywhere by giving them shrimp?
Well,
She should have had formula.
No.
You're back to formula for
She never had formula. She got
You're getting
the
dry
breasts.
formula.
She got.
Oh yeah, that's even an upgrade. You can't get that.
Milo's gourmet. Milo never
No more
had
titties
Gerber.
for you.
She
No
never
Gerber?
had- No, I made
Oh, you
all
just-
her baby food.
You'll just.
You guys know
the
that
magic bullet thing?
I had the baby bullet.
when I was younger?
Well, my dad did it. My dad,
What?
everybody, my dad was an amazing guy.
Yeah,
My
he's
dad
an amazing
made-
guy. He's
Yeah,
alive.
he still is.
He's
but
still
like,
alive.
like baby.
So just yesterday.
Okay, well,
He's doing well.
as far as, like,
he
the-
was. Oh shit.
Well, as far as raising like a baby, usually moms, we birth them, so we have a closer tie. But my dad was like all about it. So my dad would make like big pots of chicken soup, boil it, and then
Hell yeah.
blend it. And they were like, my aunts would tell me like he pulled over on the freeway to feed me, like, but he never.
I could
he
see
always-
Rod like overreacting. Like I gotta do this right now.
For sure.
He would get home
My dad
from
was the
work at
opposite.
like 4 a.m. like he does now, and he cooks for himself now. But when I was little, like he would go to my aunt's house
Mhm.
and make food for me, and like the smell would wake me up. Like he always
Yeah.
took care of me, you know.
Same thing when my son stays with me. That's when I cook and stuff. I don't do any of that shit normally. I'll just like, yeah, I can just go to Burger King or I'll just eat tomorrow. I don't care.
Yeah, I thought about it, and I was like, okay, cool. Like I got the baby bullet. That's what I wanted. Myrna got it for me.
What's a
and
baby bullet? Is that like
it's
the grinder?
bullet,
It's like
but
it's
a
a
baby
magic
bullet.
bullet. Yeah.
It's like the
just,
same
it's just smaller.
shit, but the packaging is cute
want a
and
big
light
one?
green, and there's happy faces on it, and it comes
So they got you with the
lemon.
colors.
It does have happy
It
faces.
has happy faces. It has like this whole like.
You have
I
her
still use
stickers?
this stuff,
You
though.
can put a happy face on anything.
Dude, the other night I went home and I made pesto from scratch, and I used
Ooh, that
the
sounds
baby
bomb.
was enough, and I made creamy pesto. I would do whipping cream. It
That
was
sounds
really
good.
Yeah, yeah, it was good with the zucchini pasta, with the thing I showed you.
Nice. Oh
Oh,
yeah,
I want
that
to
was
make
Vice.
zucchini pasta.
That's from the
It's really
Vice
good. The
commercials.
spiral, you can get it from Target.
That's from the Vice commercials, remember?
Yeah.
Do you boil it? Like,
No,
or
no,
how
no.
do you do
Oh,
it?
yeah, you probably like that shit.
So zucchini cooks very quickly. So all you do is you make your sauce, or you warm up your sauce, whatever you want to do, and then get it real hot, and you put the zucchini in it, and just with the sauce itself,
Oh, shit.
like 2-3 minutes at most
That's
on
bomb.
high.
So then it's
There you go.
even
It cooks.
it's
It's ready to
even
go, and it's
faster.
al dente. So it still has a crunch, and it's cooked. And
I don't
it's
like
About
that.
to get up on this zucchini.
very
shit.
good.
I like
love
the crunch.
zucchini.
I mean, if you don't like the
I
crunch,
want a
you
good
cook it
crunch.
longer.
Exactly. I know. I'm not against it. I know how to fix
Why you
al
hate- why
dente.
you hate on
I'll make
that?
al dente to el malleable.
And pesto's really
El
easy
Softe?
to make.
Yeah.
It surprisingly is. Yeah.
It's
Tree
just
nuts,
basil.
Parmesan, basil, olive oil,
That's nice.
salt.
That's good shit.
It's delicious. Yeah, but Mila never had Gerber. I made all her food.
That's
and
nice.
She liked all of it.
You know, when I was in high school, I found out we had like a class that was about like careers and we were covered in marketing at one point, and there was like a big thing in Africa because there's so many different dialects back in the day. I'm sure it's different now. I mean, same dialects but different ways. But basically, they had so many different dialects that they would just put pictures of what you're gonna eat on the cans. Carrots. So it's a picture of carrots instead of writing 30 different words for it and shit. And Gerber wasn't selling because on Gerber, on all of their fucking labels is a picture of a baby. So these Africans were sitting there thinking, there's fucking baby in this. I'm not eating this.
That's
That's
Fuck.
why.
And yeah, so this is
I mean, but I could get with that.
American company has to figure out why this product is selling everywhere else except for here. And then you realize, oh, these people you need to put a picture of the food on it, not the picture of
or
the
try
baby.
going there and also like,
Yeah.
does Gerber really need to be selling shit in Africa?
Yeah. What
You
else
know what
those
I mean?
Africans gonna eat?
They should be. We should help. get their own shit and sell it for them, help their GDP and all that shit. But similar story in America, you know, like once, ONCE, in Spanish it's once, right?
Yeah.
And so this mom was reading a medicine bottle and was like, feed one, like once a day. But she thought it meant 11 times a day. And so she fucking basically killed her kid because she gave her kid 11 doses.
That's
really
damn.
That baby's got weak genes.
Well, first of all,
sorry.
That's fucked up because that's a total thing that could be.
But it's usually in Spanish and in English.
No, but that's now it is. These are all these are old things. You know, back in the day, Chevy had a car called the Nova. It wouldn't sell in Spanish-speaking countries too, because that means it doesn't go. Nova. Like, yeah, it doesn't go. This car means it don't go. Yeah. It's like, why would you want that?
Yeah. Guatemala, they have baby doves, so they're tiny and they're pink. We don't sell them out here.
We have them in hotels.
That's cute.
Those.
Those are cute. I haven't even seen it, and I'm all, that's cute.
But I don't, yeah.
I think it's the idea, right?
But I don't know, like, how could you think, though, also, just give your baby something 11 times a day? That's kind of.
Do you know how stupid people are? Like, people are just.
I mean, giving your baby a hug 11 times a day doesn't sound weird.
They're like just reading it and being like, I guess this is it.
Yeah, but
because if you're reading it, you're probably for whatever reason, like this person decided to trust this.
Why don't you get a second guess though too? Like it's your kid.
No,
like,
I know.
Why don't you like double? Like why don't you ask people?
Well, because sometimes people don't have people to ask. Sometimes there's just people
out
there.
And lions got people to ask them.
Sometimes, you know, there's some shunned motherfuckers now having babies.
No,
for sure. There's definitely people.
There's people that don't have any money.
You have to.
I know, but because Melania, you're good people that's always been surrounded by good people. There's assholes out there that no one talks to.
I mean, I'm an asshole when people talk to me.
Well, yeah, because you're still good people. You're just a good kind of asshole.
Yeah, you're a good asshole.
Yeah, you're the good asshole, like the bleached kind in porn, not like the old crusty kind you find in a subway of someone who lives there. A dweller.
Can I
see that? I mean,
look, there's an asshole for everybody in this world.
No one would eat that one.
Let's not judge.
That's true, though. You're right. I see homeless people with hotter girls than I get. I'm like, God damn, how do you do that?
I can get hotter girls than.
Well, you're a girl. You're a girl with both. I think both of you could pull chicks really easily, and that's whatever. But it takes skills to do it, not having boobs.
Okay, you want to be this hairy and try to pull a girl?
Yeah.
You got to work at it.
Yeah. You got to comb a lot. Combing my shit.
I mean, if I didn't shave, my legs would probably be that hairy, but that won't happen.
You should find out. Like, I mean, just as someone who's I know you wouldn't because you're super like bougie and always on your shit. I'm surprised your nails aren't even done right now, knowing that I'm filming this.
Oh, did you see those nails I sent you?
Oh, with the mouths on it?
The vagina
I'm
nails?
gonna go get my nails done.
There's
again.
vagina nails.
That's so funny. I thought they were mouths.
Yeah.
Where do you get your nails done? You go one
My
place?
friend does my nails. I go to one.
Oh, you should meet
Oh,
Myrna.
really?
Yes, you should meet her.
Oh, I did meet her.
Oh, yeah.
On the way over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does all kinds of dope shit.
Yeah, very.
Don't go. Melania goes super ghetto though, where they're like 13 inches long, like Freddy Krueger.
Kind of
Scary
want a
Terry.
manicure, really.
What's up, bitch?
Because like this now was split down the middle for literally 6 months because I kept splitting it and then now it's not. But I just want them to get hard.
Oh, for sure. You guys.
Like I want everything. Hey, your thing says something on it.
Oh, it's just flashing over after 15 minutes. Oh no, 30 minutes of recording has to start over. I forgot. It's a weird thing.
It has to start over?
No, it just has to be a new file. It's just
oh, that's the file limit?
Yeah, well, because there's a law between having a camcorder and a digital camera. So what they did is make these. So this is still a digital camera with a limit of 30 minutes of filming. So that makes it not a camcorder. And certain places you can use certain. I don't know. It's a weird thing, but this what makes it part of the limit. This is still a DSLR. It's like still a camera. Not a camcorder, even though it can record video.
Okay.
It's by that limit that makes it. I don't know why they do that. I just know it's a thing.
I know that what I'm gonna say right now isn't why it separates it, but I would just say it's not a camcorder because a camcorder always has the cool little hand thing.
I got a hand thing for the side of it.
I don't see it.
Oh, you can. I've seen that hand thing. There's a hand thing on there.
Is it?
No, it's off right now, but I do have one. But I'm just saying this isn't a camcorder technically. Like you can go into like any of your electronic stores and you'll see a separation between like camcorders, like video recorders, and like still image DSLRs and this one is that, but it does both.
Okay.
But to keep it a DSLR, you have to. There's a limit on how much it can
And
record.
what does DSLR stand for?
A digital sensor lens something, I forgot.
Thank you. This has been so interesting.
I used to know what all this was. I used to know.
I'm curious as to why there has to be a division. Like, why can't they just come together? Why can't they be the same?
Yeah.
I think it's.
Why can't we just have recording
Separate
devices?
is not equal.
I think there's places where camcorders aren't allowed, but cameras are, and this
like bathrooms and stuff like that.
No, like courts and there's just certain areas, like certain like press conferences or like there's just certain places. This is what I think. I could be all wrong. This is a pretty good guess, but I don't know why. I mean, I'm sure if I had my mentor on me right now, but it's over there charging, I would look it up. Why is there a difference? I have no idea. I would love for that thing to record constantly. That's how it should do.
You want to be on film all the time?
Well,
No, but I shouldn't have to have 30-minute increments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there has to be competition. There has to be something that sets one different from the other. They're both in cahoots with which one's gonna be better.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know that because Samsungs are better phones.
That's
But
because Korea's got it going on, man.
You know what I mean?
Woo!
Phones are bad and bougie, and it's all the bougie people just want to be bougie. They're dumb and bougie. And I'm okay with admitting to that because I don't really want to do everything that your phone does. But you
There's some
do.
dumb and bougie. I get it.
Yeah. No, I love that.
So like, for instance, I can share my movies with my TV, essentially, if I have a smart TV.
I can do that too.
I tried
Wait,
that.
do you have an
the other day.
iPhone?
No, you get a dongle and do that.
I can't do it with a TV other than a Mac TV. So because I have a Samsung TV, I cannot do that.
So if you have an Apple,
So that's like so stupid.
you have an Apple
have a
TV,
device for it.
you can.
I don't have an Apple TV, is what I'm saying. So
No,
it's
but-
not compatible with a smart
So-
TV. It's compatible.
There's a way to
with
do
a-
it. There's a way to do it. There's a way to work
You
around
can
it. But
you can plug
it
it
is
in
dumb.
or some shit.
I mean, that's how Apple. That's why Apple's a thing. Like that's what they do is they bring you into their ecosystem and then you can't get out.
Oh, I mean, I know people have everything. It's like, why do you need all of that?
And how many people I know that have like a fucking $2,000 computer so that they can check Facebook and send emails and like write shit? You don't need $2,000 worth of stuff for that.
Well, I got one of them.
Yeah? Do you like it?
Thing is like
You do more than that.
But you do more than that. You do a bunch of photo editing. Like you do a lot of stuff.
I mean,
Like
you're promoting
yeah.
yourself.
You
There
do
are
recording
things
on
that
there.
you
Like
create.
it's better for
But,
recording.
like,
Like
I want it because it
people like
would
me.
be seamless, but I don't understand how to make it seamless. Like it's still like all fucked up. Kinda. It's not talking. It's better now, but my computer and my phone aren't talking to each other like exactly the
It's
same. And I
'cause-
know that I'm not utilizing it the way that I should, and I need someone to show me that. But like Andy has the Google phone. And I was thinking about getting the Google phone, but like you
Those are
said,
supposed
if
to be
I
the
have
shit,
the
yeah.
Google phone, then I can't hook my phone up to the computer.
Yes, you can.
Well, not as easily. And we have an Apple
Sure,
TV.
it's like one more
And
step.
it's like, well, he has the Google phone, I have Apple
Well,
TV
they have-
or Apple phone, so then we kind of have best of both worlds.
Can I tell you something
But
really quick?
I like the Google shit a lot better.
Yeah,
Like
it is. Google's better.
it's more intuitive. It just seems
Well,
more seamless.
There's
like an invasion of
devices
privacy.
that you can. They're little USB. They look
All
like
of it.
thumb drives, and they plug into the side of your phone if you have USB on there, and your phone can talk to it that way. And you just make it switch over to that channel, that input, and now your phone goes to that. It doesn't care if it's Mac or Samsung or whatever.
The other way to like get them to sync up, like syncing your phone and your computer, is you got to put a lot of that stuff like into cloud. Like, you have to put a lot of that stuff on someone else's computer.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Which I don't like that.
Which
like
I
there's,
don't like.
there's,
I always say no to the cloud. That's
there's
why I
definitely
don't
yeah,
talk
there's
to
definitely things on the Android and like on my computer that I don't take full advantage of because it's like I'm not interested in someone else having that. Like
No.
it just doesn't need to be there.
My cloud is in hard drives under my desk upstairs. Like
Exactly.
that's my cloud.
Yeah.
You know, hey, the shit gets gone. Sorry, I don't get to have it anymore.
Well, I have hard drives too. Do you have to like physically hook it up and like?
Yeah, sorry, I back it up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you just hook it up and transfer everything over.
and that's my cloud.
Takes
and
like 10 minutes.
And then I don't erase it off of what I have. I just have it. So if everything gets erased, I can just pull this one that's not plugged into anything, and this has everything just
Right.
backed up on it.
But like
There are
for
people
me,
like me.
Huh?
I don't have anything but my phone. So
You
if
need
I
to back
lose my
shit up,
phone,
dog.
someone got my shit. On what?
A hard drive.
I don't have one.
Just buy one.
Yeah, you can just buy a hard drive and you can plug it into any computer.
or
Yeah.
you can get that
You don't even need a
iCloud
computer. You
shit.
can just buy the drive.
and
Yeah.
upload it to that.
Transfer it
I
right
have
from your
two
phone.
iPads now.
That's too many.
It's too many, yeah.
Too many. Because if you get a new phone, then you just download everything from your iPhone.
No, I don't want to do that. Like, that's what I don't want to do. I'm a parent. I took a lot of pictures of myself pregnant and my kid and being born and all that stuff that she went through. You know,
well, then you gotta.
Did you poop yourself when she was born? It's on video, can't lie.
You know what you can do?
On video.
You could bring.
Damn it.
And I've never asked, and I might have. I don't know.
I think it's common.
You could bring all.
I've heard about it. I ate when they told me not to eat because I was pissed. I was in labor for 24 hours, and these motherfuckers were eating fettuccine Alfredo in my room and hot Cheetos.
You came out in 9 minutes. I was like, thanks, Mom.
And
gave her $20.
This is retarded. This is dumb.
You came out in 9 minutes.
No.
And Mila's grandma told me, do not go to the hospital when they tell you to go, because once you get there, you can't eat. And I was like, I'll be fine. I need to get this baby out.
I know. It's not up to me, but my friend's mom, she had all of her kids at her house. And I think that's so smart because you save so much fucking money. You know, you do. How much, giving birth in a hospital is expensive as fuck.
It is.
If you don't
but if you do it at your house, it's fucking
but like
free.
if something goes wrong.
No. If you take advantage of what you got.
Yeah.
What your resources. I had Medi-Cal. Medi-Cal covers everything but an epidural. If you want to be a punk bitch and you want an epidural, then you pay $300 to get an epidural. Medi-Cal will cover everything.
Does the epidural?
That's a great thing about Medi-Cal, which most states don't have.
Well, because they're not Californian. Yeah, that's what the Cal is.
Yeah. Well, there's no Meta Minnesota. You know, like there's
Mini. Minnesota.
It was like, so like for me, I mean, yeah, and you're right. Like if you're at home, if something goes wrong, what do? What if the baby is coming out feet first?
Handle it, dog.
Like my friend, like put it to you this way. Okay, so like
I'll figure it out.
I have
Grab the
one
legs
friend,
and pull. Google.
My friend had the swine flu when she was giving birth.
God damn.
So she wasn't able to deliver naturally. She had to do a C-section. She was covered up. She was toxic, so she was covered up. So she had a C-section. They pulled her baby out. And they took him right away. They didn't let her even see him. Like it was like a quick glance. And they took him, so he bonded with his dad. He never got to see his mom at first because she had the swine flu.
Yeah, because babies are supposed to go through the mom's vagina and they get a layer of like bacteria on them. And I'm guessing they wanted to avoid that because there's swine flu in this particular batch.
No, it's airborne. It's airborne.
They just need to get the baby out as soon as
possible.
Get it out.
Just away from her. But why'd they do the cesarean then?
To get it out because
to get it out faster.
To have a baby,
she was sick. She was already sick. She was dying. She was dehydrated. Like
it could have been push. It could have been like another 24 hours.
She was dying. She was dying as she was in labor. So they had to get him out and get him away from her.
Did he come out okay? Got a pig nose.
Everyone's good.
Everyone's good. But that you never know what's gonna happen. Another friend, her daughter came out feet first, and then when they started to give her a C-section because they saw that she was still propped up, right as they were cutting her, her daughter decided to do it like she spun.
It's a 180.
To a 180, so she was like this.
It's called 180 heel flip.
She was like belly, legs. So then they had to like get her out of her.
And that's when they put those weird metal things and they grab the babies by the fucking head and just pull them out. It's fucked up.
Like mine does.
It's fucked up, dude. I've seen it. And then mothers, when they have the babies, they're supposed to like sculpt the head, like rub it a little on the soft spots.
You gotta
to
lay
get
them in shape.
rotate them. Yeah, it's like sculpting it.
You gotta rotate them?
Yeah, like when they're
you can't like just lay them down for a second.
No, if you lay them down on one side always, which they will get comfortable to one side, they'll be flat-headed.
It's like a water balloon. It's just like.
Wait, am I flat-headed? Does someone pay attention?
Probably.
You gotta shave yourself. You never know.
But you have seen those flat-headed. I've seen flat-headed kids, and I'm like, your mama didn't love you enough to even shape your head, motherfucker. Get out of here.
Yeah, you have to
tear you down.
You gotta rotate them. They're like little.
I never knew about I knew about soft spots and shit. Like you can't just like poke your fingers through their head.
You can't be like, people like when they're young, they like want to put the kids like to rest on their legs. You can't put their body weight because if they're too little, you make them bow-legged. Like you can't rush them and shit. It's really crazy, like the shit, like those people that we saw flipping the kids, like the
I don't like that. Have you seen that shit?
That's gnarly.
The yoga babies, they like grab the babies, they're like flipping them like dumb chucks.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah, that's
what the fuck is
Like,
Dipping them in water.
Wait.
that's like shaking head syndrome or whatever.
Yeah, you
shake
can
Hey, you
shake
know
a
what's
baby.
you know what's a cool one though? There's a lot of really cool videos on this on YouTube, and it's like babies from like I think it's like 1 to 3 years old. If you just put them on your hand, they'll naturally stiffen their legs and balance, and you can like just hold them in your hand, and they'll just naturally like stay as still as possible.
I'm like, fuck this. I don't.
That's
why,
so
why,
cool.
why am I here?
It's an instinct. Or have you ever seen those babies
Me?
that swim?
Your face are like.
I've seen people they're teaching like newborns to
No,
swim.
they
and
well they
little
already
babies.
naturally if you put them in water
If you give it water
they
breath.
hold their
Yeah.
hold their
They'll
breath.
swim until you
Well, yeah, but
take
there's
them
people.
out.
I saw this lady. She had a video. You could look it up online. It actually looks very scary. But there's like a little baby.
You
That's,
blow in their face.
no, it's in the fucking
did
pool
that.
and it's swimming across, and she's just sitting there filming it.
No, I seen it.
It's fucking
I see it.
freaky, dude.
I was
I'm like,
like,
Brand new, like
It looks-
newborn, like.
I was in
it
Vegas.
looks like a couple of months old, but
Okay,
like
yeah,
in
yeah.
no way, shape, or form. It doesn't have a personality. It can't say anything. It does no words, and it's just in there going. It's not swimming. It's kind of
It's
like
just not dying.
It's floating and knocking, and then every now and then it's just floating back over, and then it kind of goes back underwater, then it floats back over. It's like it's doing some whale shit. Like
No, I saw in Vegas. I was in Vegas once, and I was pretty lit. Like I don't know, I was 21, 22, and this baby, and she had a personality. She was 2, almost 3.
Yeah, one you
Her dad
develop
said,
it, I
and
think.
no, from in the womb they develop it. Just some more than
I'm not gonna argue with the mother.
But this baby was like, I don't want to swim. She told her dad, I don't want to swim. And he was like, well, you have to. Let's go. She's tiny, and I was so intrigued by her and he was making her go laps, and I can't swim, so I'm like, damn, she's totally like shitting on me, but it's cool. It's really cool to see them
She was like swimming.
swimming on her own. He wasn't helping her at all. She was swimming, she was floating,
yeah,
and he was telling her. And like, there's a place that I take Mila to in Santa Clarita, and there's a shallow place, and then there's a big pool with 3 diving boards, and it's very deep. But if you're under a certain age, in order to swim there freely, you have to get a wristband. So they make them swim.
Oh,
a
yeah,
whole
yeah.
lap.
I remember
And
going to
so
pools like that.
They tell
Yeah,
them
yeah.
you have to
Swim
swim,
test.
so you have the swim test, but so you have to go underwater, come back up, swim with your face,
yeah, tread for a while.
tread for a while, like they tell you how to swim, and I would have failed it, and I'm about to be,
You just gotta learn how to swim, fool. That's all.
I mean, I'm learning, I'm
I'd probably
trying.
failed that.
But I'm always drunk when I'm also putting my
I've-
best foot forward.
I
that-
Well, it's important I think to teach kids how to swim because you don't want them to fucking drown.
No,
Well, yeah,
of
some
course,
kids,
nowadays.
Dude, I remember when you're right, Arsenal.
Depends on their personality, right?
Survive.
Dude, I remember being cause my great aunt had a pool, and it was her kid, so like my cousin, and she was holding me and my brother, and I remember she was like talking, and she like went like this to turn to talk, and as she went like this to turn to talk, she was holding me under the water.
Like drowning you?
Yeah, and she didn't notice, and I remember
God
going like
damn.
trying to get up, and like having this like really like fear of like I couldn't breathe, and like trying to fight and to get up, and then finally got up. They're like, "Oh, we're so sorry," and I was like, "What the fuck? I almost died," But then we started taking swim lessons, and the whole thing is you have to jump off the diving board and then swim across the pool, and then you get your trophy, right? And so like
That's the lesson.
that's the end of
That's
like
trophy worthy?
when you're like 6. I think I was like 6 to 8 around that age. But we've been going there for like a couple years already. So we started in the baby pool, which is a lot warmer than the bigger pool because there's a shit ton of fish in it. And then you get to the middle-sized pool and then the big pool. And so we were like swimming all day, and I was really tired, and I jumped off the diving board, and I was halfway across the pool, and then I was just like, when you're so tired you can't move anymore?
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't move, and I started like drowning. And I was like, literally being like, help, like going under. And it was like same thing was happening to me, and my mom was there, my dad was even there, which was weird. And they were like, oh my God, and freaking out. And my teacher didn't jump in. My teacher before jumped in and saved me. But my teacher was like, no, she'll get it. And I was like, I'm not going to get it. Like,
Yeah.
I feel
when
like
are you going to think that I'm not going to get it? When I'm floating dead in this fucking
That's
pool?
very
Like, I was
warrior.
Yeah, it's
also,
like, oh, I guess I was wrong.
as a child, panicking. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
that I couldn't breathe.
sometimes it's that you need that fight or flight to take in.
I had that happen.
I heard Japanese people used to do that. They used to give birth underwater, and if the baby swam, you can go be a warrior, and if it didn't, go work at the fucking farm. That's just how it was, dude. It's like, do you need help, or do you help yourself? You help yourself, you live a higher class life, and you go be a warrior. If not,
Dude, I was tubing down Cache Creek.
Cleaning a lot of shit.
When I started putting Mila in the bathtub, and one time she like slipped, and she slipped, on, face first in the bathtub, and she flipped quick. It was like survival mode, And I remember one time at the park, I was in elementary school already, and I was on those that like you would hold onto. It was like a triangular little. You'd hold onto, and it was like a little. Zap you across, like monkey bars.
Oh yeah.
But it wasn't monkey bars.
Like those zip line things.
Those zip line things, right? And I went down one, and I fell off of it, and I lost my air. And my dad was like in the middle of the grass. I remember he was knocked out, passed out in the middle of the grass, and I couldn't breathe, and I was like elbows, like, all the way like army status, all the way to him, like, I can't breathe. And he kind of just looked at me, he kind of laughed, like, you're okay, you'll be okay. But I do remember, like, oh, fuck, I was gonna die. Like,
the first time you get the wind knocked out of you? Oh,
that was
yeah,
my first
that's
time.
some scary shit.
When's the last time that happened to you? Because that hasn't happened to me forever.
The wind knocked out?
It's been a long time.
That was probably the last time.
I know the last time it happened, I
It used to happen
fell.
to me all the time.
I
used to get punched in the stomach all the time.
I was skateboarding and I just fell really hard, and I think I fell, and I just remember all that shit going, and I was just like, and I got it eventually, but I remember it all leaving. Feels scary. It's like your lungs.
It's scary,
get-
but it kind of like I used to have a dream where I'd be running and then like not know, like in the cartoon that the cliff is like there. And then be falling and being like, ugh, and then would wake up with the wind knocked out of me because I like would hit the ground even though I really didn't.
God dang.
But I'd have the wind knocked out of me.
That happens to
And
me
my brother used
sometimes.
to punch me in the stomach all the time.
That happens to me sometimes because when I was a kid, when I was like 8 or 9 years old, when I was in Hawaii, I almost fell off a cliff to my death, like at this beach.
Damn.
We were there with my dad and my sister and my stepmom, and it was like this green sand beach, and it was in this little fucking cliff area, and we're trying to climb down, and I started slipping, and I was like, I didn't realize how close I was, but later, like hearing from my dad especially would tell me like, yeah, you had about this much room, you had about like fucking 18 inches or so, and you were gonna fall off this cliff, and I'm already sliding down too. I had to grab you, and so I have weird dreams about cliffs ever since then.
Damn.
And then it turns out there was actually like a really natural like stairs you could walk down. We didn't even have to climb down a cliff.
Yeah. Like I have a weird dream of driving off of a cliff into pine trees, which it's always been a thing in my life, but I never really cared. No, but then when I moved to northern Nevada, there was a bunch of pine trees. Like when you drive to Lake Tahoe, just cliffs and pine trees. And I was like, is this
they're
like?
high because you're up and they're down.
And here's the hubris I have. I would think I was probably psychic and I just foresaw my death, and I'm like, you can't do that. I probably just didn't like the Grinch Stole Christmas or something. Some shit.
I used to have that dream, and I used to have a dream where the street I used to live on, like one end of it, the right side would be like super dark and stormy, where you could see like the sky was dark, and there'd be like storm clouds and like thunder and lightning, and then you could hear people like screaming and fighting. And then the other side of the street was like all light and shiny. And I remember my dad would come out of the house and be like, I'm tired of this. Like of this side of the street, like I'm gonna go out and like take care of it. And I remember being like, no, don't do it, don't go. And he's like, no, I'm going, and like begging him not to go. And then he just went. And then I would wake up as soon as he'd get there.
No, I don't.
It's a trippy dream.
I have one
So
dream,
trippy.
and it's always a different person. And the one dream that I remember that I hate the most is any dream that like I'm trying to defend myself or hit somebody, and I can't. Like I just cannot throw a punch.
Oh, I've had dreams like that.
Those are the ones that
When you
just
can't move,
bother
you can't
me.
say something.
Or have you ever had a dream where you punch someone and it did nothing? Like it
That's
hits
just my
up
life.
and it's just so heavy. It's just
Yeah,
like
it's
just every
heavy.
fight
It's
I've
like
been in.
that. Yeah, and it's like so bad. Like this ain't me.
I've had
Like,
dreams
where
where I
are
couldn't walk. Like my walking became an army crawl, and it felt like my legs were just sinking into cement. I'm just like, I'm trying and I just can't. It's fucking scary.
The teeth ones? Have you had the teeth ones?
That your
Where you're
teeth
like
fall off?
you're chomping on all your teeth and your teeth are falling out and shit?
No.
It's supposed to mean
I've
something
had-
bad. I've looked it up a couple times and it's always
There's
something
one,
different.
Like somebody will die.
Term.
Somebody in your family's gonna die. That's one I've had.
I've heard that one, yeah.
Which is true. Everyone in your
Wait.
family will die.
What?
No.
What do you
Oh,
dream
my
when
bad.
your family dies?
Your teeth falling out,
Oh.
or like somebody else's or something.
I
Yeah,
I
yeah.
heard if you dream of someone dying in your dream, that means they have a long life.
God.
Ooh, I heard that if
What
you
about when you
die,
die?
I heard if you died in a dream, then you died in real life. Is that true? Have any of you died in a dream before?
And Freddy
Yes.
Krueger. No, I'm
I've died in a
I'm
dream.
really good at not
Yeah.
dying. I've done it my whole life, and I'm Phil Pro at it.
I woke up before
Now
I
could be the
died.
time. Thank you.
I woke up before I died. I remember there was the end of the world. It was an apocalypse. And I remember in my dream, there was just my homie, and I was like, I gotta go. I gotta go. And I like went out in the open, and I went and found my dad. And said bye to him.
Rod means a lot to you.
And then I
I can
was
tell in your subconscious already.
All the time. Hell yeah. Subconscious all the time. Alive.
Yeah, you guys fight a lot too, though.
We fight a lot. Well, yeah,
That's
because
your
he's my
supposed to do.
boss.
Yeah, yeah, right.
If he
Everyone
wasn't my
fights their
boss,
boss.
if we didn't work together, we wouldn't have the conflicts that we do.
Nice.
And it's just because he's my boss now and I'm his kid, and it's like, you know.
Yeah, he wants you to try harder.
I mean,
Like the hardest, I mean. No, I mean like parents expect more from their kids. But,
He's just like, man, I do. Who's here right now?
no,
Who am I talking to?
You know what I
Art?
mean? I mean like he
No
expects
shots
more
for
from
you.
you than any other employees because
I
you
know.
are his
but
daughter.
I do.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that's what he expects.
She do.
Everyone do and all that. But so that's good.
Yeah, that's the dream that I remember having, like where like I died, but like I woke up. I was dying, and I was like, okay, God, just take these out.
Those are trippy dreams. Have you guys ever had dreams where you could like control them or do what you want?
Yes.
I had one where I could I was running and I was like, every time I'd skip, I'd float a little bit more, and then I would just like concentrate longer and I'd float more and more, and then now I'm floating, motherfucker. I have dreams where I like float a little bit.
I have dreams where I float, but I also have dreams where I fly. I mean, I haven't had it in a long time, but it used to be pretty consistent where I'd fly in my dreams.
Oops, sorry. No, flying is cool. See, mine was never. It's like
like
more
the
floating
Mario
than not
music.
flying.
It's the Mario
Yeah, it's like.
music. But you have to like hold your butthole real tight so you can like
No,
fucking
that's.
float up.
You wear your dress. You go.
Bougie.
Alright, I'm gonna go in and pee real quick.
All right.
Don't miss me.
Those were crazy dreams, though.
Dude,
Crazy
wait,
scenario.
one last dream I'll say. I dreamt that a lot of people died in my dreams, but I dreamt once that I had twins, and I was holding them both. This is pretty fucked up. And one was dead. And I was like holding two fucking babies that I just gave birth to, and one was dead.
Damn.
I was in fucking high school when I'm dreaming this shit. That kind of makes sense.
You were
to
probably
me.
listening to Tool or something, some weird ass shit.
Too much 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah, exactly. I
9 Inch Nails.
don't like to dream. I just do. No? Okay. Well, this is good. We're like fast approaching an hour. We can probably wrap it up if you. What do you guys think?
Okay, now we're gonna
Yeah,
wrap
well,
it up when she goes to bees.
How long will we wait for her to come back?
How was your week? You didn't say how your week was at all.
Man, I've just been doing okay. It's been really fun. It's
We
been
didn't even
going
talk
on.
about our week. Oh, sorry.
I know we haven't. We've just been talking about babies and dreams.
All right, so how was your
It's
guys'
been
week?
good. It's been good. My week's been great.
My week's always great. I hang out with the two of you.
That's what I'm saying. You get to hang out with you guys. We're doing a lot of
You
shit.
know how my week was? It was the same as your week.
But it's still a little
Besides
Trump is ruining things. Sorry. It's tough. I don't know why Trump came out, but it's tough
Yeah.
because of all that weird shit that's happening.
It's hard just to see how fucking stupid people are, like, and how like irrational and I mean like in the sense that you're playing for one side. Like, it's so weird to see so many people in my life that have just decided that they're either going to be on this side or that side, and it doesn't matter what they actually believe. They just like picked a sports team, and like that's what we've become. Is it's just picking a sports team. It's not like
No, I agree, and it kind of sucks that you don't have the flexibility. Like, a lot of people don't have the flexibility. It's just like a motherfucker saying, you know what? The first ice cream I ever had was chocolate ice cream, and I'm not gonna have anything else because what could be as good as that? My dad ate chocolate ice cream. My dad's dad fought for chocolate ice cream. Chocolate ice cream. That's so. It's like, but you never had cookie dough, dog. That shit's great. You guys don't like cookie dough?
I don't like cookie dough.
oh, I'm down with
Rocky
cookie
Mountain. What do you
I
like?
like-
You know what I mean?
Rocky
Insert whatever
Mountain.
flavor.
Rocky
Rocky
Mountain.
Road. Is that?
dough. Rocky Road's my favorite.
See,
I
I'm
love
an
me some
alcoholic. I think of Rocky Mountains.
What's a Rocky Mountain?
Beer.
Oh, Coors
Coors.
Light.
It's Coors Original Banquet. I don't fuck with
Yeah.
Coors Light.
Oh, well, Coors Light.
This isn't an advertisement. I don't work for them.
Oh,
I just
sorry.
like that banquet. I like real beer. Like these, we're drinking Budweisers right now, not Bud Light.
I'm drinking American.
Oh, that's what they call it now, right?
Yeah.
E pluribus unum. That's Latin for suck my dick once. Just unum.
No, but yeah.
Pluribus my unum, dog. E pluribus my unum.
That's been the most frustrating thing about this week is that people cannot just. No one even wants to have a discussion. Like everything is just such a knee-jerk reaction to, like I'm angry. Which there's a lot of things to be angry for. I'm not saying that those aren't valid things.
You know what I think it is though? Here's the sad part that I've kind of noticed, that it's more like they're thirsty for attention and they're using the anger as a way to get it. I watched several people that I know, and I won't list their names or anything, but they went to these like protests to like show that they did and that they were doing something, and like this is like it's like a thirsty post. It's not like just go and do it to support a cause, or you always do this. Like, no, I went there to do it, or I went there to be a part. I don't know. It's like weird. It's like thirsty. Like do it and do it. I don't get the explaining how I did this so much, and I was this close to people getting pepper sprayed or whatever. Like, okay, like, what do you think was gonna happen?
Yeah. I
don't know. I feel like it's more thirsty.
I don't think you think that someone's gonna drive through a crowd.
That's a lot different.
No, that's a lot different.
I'm talking about thirsty posts on like people nowadays, like being angry or showing their anger more for attention than actually being angry.
Yeah, like protesting or just joining something for the sake of joining.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, I did it when I was a bad high school kid, and I couldn't even tell you what number law that was, but it was like, I know I was like 13, 14, I was in high school, and there was the law about immigrants. The last, election, like every election. Immigrants and all that never come up only during elections.
The only aliens I want are from space.
This is the only time that past the election, it has continued to be an issue.
No, it's not really an issue though. It's just
it's not
a distraction.
An issue, but it's him. It's a distraction. But I remember the walkout. There were walkouts.
I think it's definitely an issue.
You guys were already out of high school, but there was like
walkouts.
I
remember that.
I dropped
for
out
like
of that
the
shit.
Dreamers and
There were
shit.
walkouts.
It was for the Dreamers because they were promised something, I think, and then it was being taken away.
Yeah.
Oh, well, they
but
have
I'm sorry you promised. Oh, life's not fair.
But you have,
no, that's not right.
But in all fairness, my English teacher told everybody in class, go home and ask your parents if they were, if they came here illegal.
Damn, he's trying to get you to snitch on them. That's what Russia did.
She said, ask your parents what they went through. Ask them the story. Like, do any of you know what your parents actually went through to get here? Right? I didn't know. And then it was the same time around the walkouts. So on the walkout day, I just didn't want to be at school. And so I was like, all right, it's organized
That's
walkout.
the truth. That's honesty.
Right? It's honesty. So I walked out. And so I was at the gate, and the principal, the dean was like, Melania, if you walk out, like, don't hop the gate. If you hop the gate, you got on camera. I was the first person to walk out, and I hopped the gate, and my homegirl, and we walked. We went past 2 high schools, and then the cops were like, if you keep on going, you're gonna get in trouble. You turn around now, and keep on going. But point is, I didn't know I kind of knew vaguely what they were talking about, but I wasn't educated in it, and I didn't participate to make a difference. I participated to be.
Thank you. I feel like a lot of people
use that as an excuse, and that's a lot of people.
Yeah, I think they're not all of them, but I feel like a majority of these people are doing it to have an identity, and I feel like that's the shitty part because
I don't know.
Wait, without that crisis, then they wouldn't have their identity, and I think that's the shitty part. So they only complain about it. They do nothing to help it because they want to live in that. I am a freedom fighter. I am fighting for X cause, and without that cause, what would I be?
It's like the wealthy people in, Santa Monica, Venice that have these nice houses, and they're all about like, recycle this, reduce, reuse, recycle. But you have 1,000 computers and TVs on and lights, and you're wasting electricity, and you're doing all this.
You're not doing anything. You're not doing anything
but
to further your community, or better than that, the community is outside your community because your community doesn't need further helping.
Yeah.
But the thing is I don't think people are being like, oh, let me go to this Nazi rally and protest against that because without that I don't have an identity. I don't think that the majority.
Would you agree that people exist?
In my opinion, what I'm saying, and if you're listening to what I'm saying, the majority of those people I don't think are there because I need an opinion or I have nothing to do on this fucking Saturday. I think people are being like, oh, what the fuck? There's a Nazi rally going on.
No, because Nazi rallies have always happened in this country.
That is not like
it wasn't
this.
Brought out to
yes,
light.
it was.
Okay.
People
not
just
like
open
this
and honest.
recently.
Dude, they are California.
Can I ask a question? Was it a Nazi rally or was it Nazis protesting against a statue being removed.
No, it was a Nazi rally.
Okay.
This one.
So
this
what
one
about-
was definitely.
What about when they did this in
And
Illinois?
Eric, can I just point something
Illinois?
out to you? You wouldn't accept that it was a Nazi rally until Eric said it's a Nazi rally. I'm saying it's a Nazi rally.
He reads the news all day, every day. That's
So
what he
do
does.
I.
I'm not saying you don't.
But you are valuing his opinion over mine because
This is
why?
two opinions.
Yeah,
I
that's
added
it.
your two together.
I'm just gonna put that together.
No,
right there, 'cause
you're making me a thing. I'm now taking
Are
two
we?
people's opinions as opposed to one. He reinforced
Okay.
your shit, so
All right.
now I'm like, how can I argue with that? It's not because he said it. If he would have said it first, I would
But
have said
can
the
I
same
ask you
thing.
this question to begin with?
Yeah,
Why,
ask me.
if you didn't know what it was to begin with, why are you just coming out and saying it wasn't a Nazi rally?
I didn't.
if
I said
you didn't?
it's on video. I said, tell me this. Was it a Nazi rally or was it people trying to stop a statue from being removed?
It was a Nazi rally that is being by a large percentage of people, or a certain percentage of people, being wrapped around the idea of it taking down this statue.
Yes.
And obviously that was what happened was horrible. Nazis are bad. No one likes Nazis.
Agreed.
Right.
But it's interesting to see how. It's interesting to see how angry people like to get it. So because now it's a one-upping thing. So now it's like, oh, it's like now there's someone that wants the Bill Clinton statue removed from wherever the fuck that is. Like,
Or
so
the
now
Obama
everyone's
statue,
like, oh,
yeah.
this statue or that statue,
Right.
which is to me it's a weird thing.
Than no jobs.
It's all petty. And what I kind of, and I think what you guys are saying is the people who go and protest. Like, I think protesting has its place and it's done a lot of good things in this country, but I do think that there's a majority of the people who go there and protest and think that they're done with what they need to be doing.
Exactly.
Yes.
And what everyone needs to be doing is paying attention, being involved in not only fucking federal politics, but your local government and your community, and making that the best, and then growing from there, because you're not gonna, you know what I mean? You gotta
No, I
start
agree with
local
you. Yeah,
and
I think
fucking be
being
involved.
I think the majority of people that goes
Exactly,
protest.
and now I think maybe we just hold people accountable for what they're talking about. Like, put your money.
But do they
where
or do
your
they
mouth
hold
is.
people accountable for single moments? It kind of seems like. Also, wait, really fast. I just think that a lot of people that are going to the protest are treating protest like a Coachella. Like, I was there, and it's not really like you're saying. They're stopping at that moment. They haven't been working. Maybe they've been working a little bit before, and I don't think they're continuing after, unless there's another event to go to.
I see. There's gonna always be people that go to protest for that.
Exactly,
But I can
and
tell
I'm
you,
condemning them.
as
I don't think
someone,
the people that are righteous
but you're
about it
also,
are wrong.
But you're also making up statistics saying
No,
like
I didn't.
most
I
of
think
them are.
it's my
Most of
opinion.
them
I
are.
think a majority of them are half-assed.
Okay, so in your
that would
opinion,
be the
but
case.
as someone who went to the Women's March downtown, like that was like being.
What was
I
that march
definitely
for, by
and
the
I
way?
definitely saw. I saw a lot
What
of.
was it for?
I'll tell you right now.
Okay.
I'm answering a question. Not only, like, I felt like I was amongst a lot of people who think the same way as I do, but also I did see that fraction of people who are just there, like, taking
Like guys
selfies.
hitting on women, taking their pictures.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But you see that and you know that, and then there's other people there, and then there's people where I'm handing out flyers to encourage women to be involved in local government, in running for local office, and being involved in your communities. And there was at least 10 people between me and my other friends that are handing these flyers out. I was like, you know what? I am going to be involved. Like, I've got nothing going on right now. Like, I'm a mom who has a part-time job, or I'm someone, like, I used to be working, like, and it's encouraging them and giving them the tools and the whereabouts to go and educate themselves to be a part of the community. And things like that can happen when people get together and meet each other. Good things come from that.
Absolutely. I'm not saying that, but I just think of a lot of those people didn't have the right intent in mind, nor carrying it on. Where are they now? Let me ask you. Wait. You didn't ask the question. What was the Women's March for?
The Women's March was for protesting against the idea of women's health care being taken away, health care in general, and everything that Trump is doing to take away health care and women's fucking rights in general.
How long was Trump president before that Women's March occurred?
Well, and fucking the environment. Well, we're going off of his promises. And that's exactly what he was doing. And people were getting together and being like, this is the amount of people who don't like what is being said right now.
I could see that showing numbers for sure. But
Okay,
for what cause? That was like 8 causes.
People showed up for a lot of different causes.
Okay, well, I'm gonna put my 2 cents in. I did not go to the Women's March because I did not go to the Women's March because I can't do that. I can't do that. And I'm a woman, and I will say it. It's a man's world. Period. The end. But women have a lot of things that we're vulnerable as. If we get raped, and we end up pregnant by somebody that raped us, and we don't have the option to get an abortion. Think about the psychological shit that could happen to somebody. Somebody can say, okay, well, I'm gonna love this kid because it's my kid. Because some women, it clicks. Okay?
Some.
It's my kid. Some.
Yeah.
Not all.
No.
And I know people. Not all. It doesn't.
There's
click.
actually
and it's not even a psychological thing.
Yeah.
So you gotta understand, if we're vulnerable to that. We don't have that choice. We don't have that option to say, I'm not gonna get pregnant
Well, you know
right
what
now.
Texas
I don't
just
have the
did?
option to use protection. So that's what a part of the Women's March was, for somebody to not say that I don't have the option or the choice to say, I am not ready. What is worse? Somebody who is stating, I am not ready, I do not want this kid, I am not going to love this kid. This is something that I don't want. I am going to shoot something out in this world, and I don't want it, so I'm not going to raise it to be
And it might grow up to look just like the guy that fucking did it to you.
Exactly. I'm not going to raise this person to be a character in this world that's going to offer something to us. Because I don't want it. It's going to be unloved.
There's actually a famous band called Fear Factor that actually wrote a song about that. And it's just like, he's like, I'm a product of hate. At a certain age, my mom stopped loving me.
Because
he could feel it.
Because of your religious beliefs, or because of whatever you think, you feel like you have the right to tell me what I can and cannot do with my body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially when you don't have a fucking body like my body.
A Christian doesn't think that we can have birth control. They don't believe in it. But if we're out of wedlock, then we're giving birth to a bastard.
Yeah, true. I know, it's very common. I'm
There
against
are
all of those establishments.
So as a woman, I should have the right. I should have the right to do what I want.
I think as a human you should.
I mean, as a human.
Yeah,
but
As a human, for sure.
I'm just saying, why exclude the other half of us?
Because it's
we
always
want
been
rights too.
excluded, and there are people with
It doesn't sound cool, but I don't like circumcision. And I know that's going to be a bullshit thing to you, but like little boys lose their dicks every day.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
All the time because of that.
But you literally comparing circumcision to fucking centuries and centuries of women being
because you're comparing a baby
raped,
who gets circumcised to women of all ages
being
that are
raped, being controlled, being paid less, being fucking discriminated against. It is, and to each their own. To each their own, but that's kind of what's the problem here.
Can't that be something I worry about?
I
never had a womb. I don't know what it's like.
That is something that
I have sisters that I care about, and I want them to have the right to whatever.
But at the same time, I've never had a dick, and is that something you want me to be worried about?
Yes.
I would not.
If you have a son, when you have a son, I don't want you to do that.
But what if you have a daughter?
I wouldn't cut her clit off.
No, but that's the same thing. You don't understand? Like you're saying I'm not that concerned about that because I've never been a woman.
No, I didn't say I wasn't concerned at all. I said a thing I think about.
No, I didn't say you weren't concerned at all. I said you're not that concerned because I'm thinking about my dick not being.
Selfishly, I'll admit it. I will be honest and say I don't think about it all the time. I am really, truly, when I think about it and I hear about it, I feel bad for it, and I agree with you, but it's not on my mind. I'm not thinking about that. I'm being honest. I'm not being an asshole.
No, and I'm not saying that you're not being honest or you're being an asshole, but in the same breath, you want me to think about cutting a dick if I have a kid. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I want all of you guys to. So
but in this, you know what I'm trying to say? So in the same breath, if you have a kid, if you have a daughter, wouldn't you want that daughter to have the rights to her own body to say, this is what's up with what I want to do?
Yeah, I said that earlier.
Yeah, I don't think anyone is arguing.
Yeah, no one's saying take anyone's rights away. Yeah, I'm saying I feel like you guys aren't fighting for everyone's when you easily could be. I mean, I think it is a good movement, but you're excluding half of the
I think
human
that
race.
the issue that you're saying between circumcision and women's fucking health
rights let's say it's not circumcision.
Comparable.
Fine, let's say it's not circumcision. How about it's forcing us to go to the military? We're forced to go to the military.
What about the women that want to go and they won't?
They should go.
They should be able to
go.
And
the guys that don't want to go shouldn't have to go.
But then that's not up to a woman. It's a man. Again, like I'm gonna say it for the thousandth time.
How many of those men are? How many men listen to their moms though?
Women can't.
How many men are ran by their moms?
There are women that are fucking big women.
You know what?
women. Like, hello.
I'm just saying there's other options we're not exploring here. You guys are hitting one road. I'm just bringing other ones, and you're getting mad about it.
Too many people. I'm just gonna keep on, throw it in.
Did everyone see that Nazi cry though?
Big women.
This is kind
want
of
to play football. Big women want to do
I think they should. By the way,
they don't have.
I think the WNBA should be blended into the NBA
and do this. As the war thing. I'm not going tit for tat. I'm really not. I'm not.
No, me neither. I'm not trying to solve it all, and I'm not against it.
All I'm saying is that when you're saying, oh, like we're forced to go to the war, there are women that want to fight. Like, come on, the Jews, Krav Maga, they fucking teach their women to be soldiers, warriors.
Yes.
You should want
and
all
there's
your
no
people
protests over
to
there
fucking
about,
be soldiers and warriors and be able to survive. If we fucking get invaded, everybody should have an equal opportunity to survive.
At the same time, I never filled out my selective service card. Technically, I'm a felon because I never registered for the draft if it ever happens again.
Yeah,
you don't have to do that.
Crime.
Like, so I'm technically a felon.
Yeah,
so I'm no.
That's not an answer to anything, though.
I'm just saying we have different oppressions that you don't notice.
Yeah,
either.
people go through shit, and I think that part of the problem that we're going through as a country is that everyone needs to one up everything. Yeah. Everything has to be my oppression is worse than yours. What I go through is worse than yours. And yes, what I think. Do I think that I am a highly privileged person in this society? Yes, I think I am. And I think there's a lot of reasons for that. I don't agree with those reasons, but to deny it is ridiculous. And what happens is when protests work is when you go out and you actually confront these guys like they did in Charlottesville. Now you've got these guys who are organizing this shit who are scared to be arrested. Now they're anti-government fucks who are now putting videos out of themselves crying about how afraid they are. There was another video that came out of.
Can I smoke in here or should I walk out there?
You can, but I will tell you this right. You are sitting behind a bunch of gas stations, or in front of. But I'll switch seats with you. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, well, this is what I'm saying. But if she goes,
we've been in danger the entire time.
No, but it's like, I mean, don't go like this and like ash behind. I mean, you should be fine. Cigarettes can't even light a puddle of gas on fire.
I know, movies are lies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, you should be fine. I'm just saying, be aware of that.
All I'm saying is.
But you'll be fine.
Period. The end.
Okay, look. 666.
Yeah, they all do.
Wait, what?
Not ours. Ours. These ones. This brand of mic is SF666. -666. Sorry.
I generally think that we should look at the problems that people are facing
when you're done
instead of trying to one up each other in this idea of my problems are worse than yours, because at the end of the day your problems are never going to be more important to me than my problems. Okay. Like that's that's how people are. So why don't we
We need to step away from that.
You're talking. You're saying that as you're an American citizen. You are a citizen of a country that is claiming and has been claiming for the past fucking decade and a half
and no one's
that they're fighting for our rights. I'm sorry, but let me let you know, any American woman, as fucking, people are gonna say we're not equal. Let them, and the religion of Islam try to come to the United States of America and tell us what the fuck we can and cannot do, and wrap our hair up, and let me show you how many American women are going to tell them to shove their finger up their ass and go somewhere. Period. The end.
But I don't think that's happening. That's not happening.
No, that was decades ago, where people were using the excuse that we're fighting for our freedom. We're not. We are.
Yeah, they always say.
I think our government is fighting against us, not for us.
Exactly.
To be clear, I do believe that.
Yeah.
So you're saying
they use us.
When you're saying, you're from somewhere that.
Sorry, wrinkles.
I'm just touching base on what you have just said.
Yeah.
We're not. We're making excuses to go out and win. We're not more oppressed. The United States can't say, "Oh my gosh, boo-hoo." Like,
no, we can't. No, we're the top. Like, we live in America. We're the top 1% of the population in the world. Like, that's
and
which is being threatened right now. Really,
it's wasteful, and it's being threatened, and there's.
Good. I think things should learn to grow, and threats and change help things to grow.
Bottom, and this administration is going to help us get to the bottom.
It's definitely embarrassing.
I think so. It's definitely it isn't. Yeah,
it's super embarrassing.
Listen,
it is totally embarrassing.
I don't like to. I'm not really big into like the picking of the sides of politicians. So what I'm about to say has nothing to do with what team it is, red or blue, Democrat or Republican. But it was very nice knowing Obama was out there going to world conferences and speaking on behalf of America. When I think of Trump doing that, that's embarrassing, dog. Like, that's like having my mom come and introduce me before an open mic. Here, this is his first time ever.
Oh my God.
That's
actually a really good comparison.
It's so embarrassing.
And knowing Art for as long as I've known him, like, he really doesn't.
Yeah, oh God. It's like he literally embarrasses me, and that's what I don't like the most. That's it.
He embarrasses. Yeah, he embarrasses.
I think all of us. But
he's a reflection of us who voted. He's a reflection of.
He's a reflection of the country we created.
The country we created. The people that came out.
I blame the Jersey Shore.
Justifiable to
the TV show, The Jersey Shore. All their fans are voting age in this election, and that's what fucking happens.
No, I think it's all middle America. You know, it's like those people who are doing these rallies that are trying to be like no Jews and all that stuff. They feel empowered now, and that's his base.
That's what we started off as. What Art was saying was that people are doing it just to do it.
Yeah, and it was it's pretty gross. It's pretty gross when you hear what they say. Those white supremacists were walking around going, "Jews will not replace us."
Yeah.
But like, if you look at it, like, the Jewish religion is one of the only religions that doesn't proselytize. Like, they don't go out and recruit. You marry in. Or that's it. You're born in. That's it.
You're born in. You can't even marry in because if you're a woman and
you can marry in,
and
but you
have to.
If you marry a Jewish man and you're not and you don't convert,
you have to convert.
You have to convert.
That's marrying in.
If you're let's say you're engaged and you're pregnant and you give birth to a baby and you haven't converted because you're not married yet or you haven't gone and done the process.
Yeah.
Your child is not considered.
I know they'd have to convert too.
Even if the mom's not Jewish, the child's not.
The mom has to.
I thought the mom had to be Jewish. I thought that was like the one big thing.
Yep.
So that's not the thing we're trying to focus on. I'm just saying Jews aren't out there going knocking door to door trying to replace everyone.
Is it pretty self-explanatory?
Yeah, go through that door to your right and up the stairs.
The thing is like the
to your
Jews,
left and to your left.
And no one, like, these people, no one's gonna come in and take over your shit. No one wants to live in your trailer park and drink fucking Colts 45 at 8:30 in the morning.
They're in your
no
social
one wants
circle
that
already.
shit. Yeah, they're, you know what? It's the crackhead down the street you need to be worried
Exactly.
about.
That's what
not
I'm
a
saying.
fucking Jew in Hollywood. What are you fucking talking about?
Exactly.
No one wants your trailer park. You're safe.
You know who's gonna ruin your life? Like that guy Dan at your work, or at your wife's work, or whatever. Like your boss, or like this guy Joe who's trying to cut. Like, that's the guy trying to fuck you over. ISIS isn't trying to get me. I never heard of me.
You
dog.
maybe.
Well, maybe.
Yeah. You maybe. Probably.
Yeah, they're trying to get me to work for them. They're like, look at that beard. Oh God.
Yeah, you feel.
See, but I actually think all of this started with CNN. 25 years ago, 30 years ago, when CNN started, when Ted Turner created a 24-hour media cycle that had to be fed constantly. Because before that, you read your paper, you look like it's created this idea that you constantly have to have you constantly have to be fed. You constantly have to be churning new news.
Here, let me pose this though, because there is new news, but they're not constantly posed. They're not giving new news. It's if you watch CNN and you watch any of the news stuff, the 24-hour news channels, it's the same thing over and over again. So they're not giving. There is fresh news. There's other things to report on except for the same thing over and over again, and it's always like the breaking news of. We all know what just happened, but it's still breaking.
Agreed, but that's because once you start creating a 24-hour news cycle and more people start doing that, you're able to start telling different stories. And when you're able to start telling different stories and you saturate a market, the only thing that matters is your viewership and your money and your advertising.
Boom.
Exactly.
So
then it became entertainment.
Yeah.
I think at the start, CNN at the start was a really good idea. I think it was a good idea to bring full news to people.
I think CNN has something that
it's
whole,
an
not just CNN,
idea.
but the 24-hour news cycle has something to do with it. I think TMZ has something to do with it too because
they were creative. Yes.
Do you guys know what TMZ stands for?
I don't actually. I was thinking about that the other day.
Can I tell you? Do you guys know?
I think I did.
I'll tell you. It's TMZ is the 30-mile zone, and that's a 30-mile radius from the center of Hollywood.
Oh shit. Interesting.
But see, what TMZ I think is, and how they're dangerous is because if you remember, TMZ broke the news. Oh, I did what I shouldn't have done.
I told you. That's why I warned you, though. But now you knew. Yeah. See.
So they broke the news of the whole Mel Gibson thing, right?
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Oh, the when he was all drunk.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything.
And I think they did a couple other things where they broke where it was kind of like
it was
real
his
news.
ex-girlfriend's
And you can
voicemail?
argue that's also entertainment news, but that's also real news. But they kind of like will put something that's a satire and not true next to something that is 100% true, and no one knows and or fucking gives a shit what is true or not, and it's just sensationalized, and everyone is looking at TMZ every day, I think, and not so much CNN website, maybe.
Yeah, but here's also a weird thing is that's our bubble. Like I just explained to you, TMZ is a 30-mile zone from Hollywood.
Right, but the whole world is looking at that.
Absolutely, when they're curious for pop culture, but when they're looking for their popular, for their local news, man, that's smart.
Yes, I was hoping you were going to bring them out.
You need one? I gotta
No, it's okay. I have to go pee.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Actually, while we're all here, let's just wrap this up because we're getting. This was a really cool, mature adult time. We actually got really mature towards the end, and I love that.
Yeah,
That's one of my favorite things. Like,
well, I went. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying that's a beautiful thing that can happen. We hope we'll continue to do this and keep that up. This is beautiful.
I actually went to a TMZ because I was a journalist major.
Ooh.
I actually have a BA in journalism and a minor in political science. But
God damn!
You just drop
That
it on
girl's
that.
talented,
Drop it
shit.
on us now.
I'm so
Well,
smart.
and I used to-
I didn't know I
was-
had like educated friends.
the opinions editor at my college newspaper, and I went to a panel where Harvey Levin was talking, and some other he was there, someone from the LA Times, and another newspaper was there, and that was my question. It was like, how can you distinguish between that and like really, call yourself a legit
Yeah, you shouldn't
thing.
call him that.
And no, he had a good response. Don't remember what it is now, but
It was probably good. He's a good talker.
It was, but at the same time, I don't agree with it.
It probably had something to do that you
it's
should
all
know
been
that it's
about-
not real news. Like you should know it's entertainment purposes, and we're just giving you up to the minute gossip,
Yeah,
and
but
it's
people-
nothing you should base your opinion
People
on.
Right.
now don't even know that the Onion is satire. Like
Which is sad.
I've seen people
That's
from
sad.
Wisconsin where it's fucking from. Like it's been
Trying to post something from the
yeah,
end.
they're like, I can't believe this is happening. It's like it's the fucking Onion.
Babies eating babies.
Yeah.
Separate them now. Like what?
The
People
thing
start to freak out.
is it has to come back to supporting your like local news organizations and like NPR and all that stuff, and like giving money and to where they're not beholden to viewership, to advertisers, and you have your trusted news source. And beyond that, what I've been saying since I was fucking 20 years old is it comes down in this country to healthcare and education. We need to educate our people so they know when they're reading shit that is not true.
Yeah, dude,
and have
100%.
an equal education system in this country to where everyone has the opportunity to be educated and have a high education.
I think the internet's given us that. If you want to learn, you can learn.
You can, but
I think people need to start researching and stop counting on these institutes that will charge you to lie to you.
Just like what you're saying, people are reading the Onion on the internet and they don't know that it's not fact
Absolutely,
because they're not educated before.
They're not doing
that.
research on that. Should I back this up? How do you just read one thing and go with it? Like I said earlier,
some
you told me one thing and I was like, how do I know that? He backed it up. I said, all right, I'll go with that.
But you
I
can
like
also
that's a little research.
you can look on the internet and find 5 sources that say the same
that
thing.
are all garbage. You're right. It's
You know what I
disgusting.
mean?
We are like 26, 27, 28. I don't even know how bad in education in this country.
Yeah, but
we
also,
should not be that low.
I can't go with those numbers
No,
because
exactly.
our racial population is crazy. That's
But
gonna
beyond
throw it
that,
off.
no, beyond
What do you
that,
mean?
stop. Beyond that, healthcare. Like we need to
size
be
of our
educated
country.
and we need to be
Yeah, the
healthy,
size
and
of our
then we have
country,
a
yeah,
good
but-
fucking population here that can decipher through this shit and be involved in your local shit. Like that's what it is. We all have to take time to do this shit.
Absolutely. But let's wrap this shit up, motherfuckers. This has been
That
a
was my soapbox.
mature adult time. I'm Art Hernandez.
I'm Serafina Costanza.
Eric has.
Mel C. Peace.